What's going on YouTube? It's Lieutenant Cade, also known as Alvin the Director. I'm back again with another video. So for those who are new to the channel, I'm currently snowbirding at Fort Gordon waiting for Signal Bullet to start. I'm slotted to start in October, so right now I'm just in the whole waiting phase. Today's video is gonna be about my first embarrassing story as a second lieutenant. But first, let me roll the intro. All right, so let's go ahead and get into my story. So, like I said, I'm snowbirding right now. Basically what that means is I'm just kind of waiting for class to start. So by being a snowbird, depending on where your bullock is gonna be at, you'll be doing like a bunch of different tasks and things like that. I'm basically just doing, things around the office. And today, the task was to clean out one of the classrooms. So there's a bullet class that starts next week, and they all do the in-processing brief in a particular classroom inside our headquarters. And so our task today was to make sure that room is mopped out, make sure all the chairs, dressed, just make everything look good inside the classroom. So, we're mopping the floors and everything. Everything's going, pretty good. It's supposed to be about a 10 to 15 minute detail. And then there's 5 of us doing it. So, it's going, everything's going great. We're wrapping everything up, and then, one of the guys was like, hey, let's go ahead and just mop the hallway too. Just so, the office looks great and everything like that. We already have the mop buckets out, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. That's a great idea. So, we're mopping the hallway, and I go back to the classroom to get the mop bucket and bring it out into the hallway where we're mopping at, and next thing I know, I'm looking at the water like just fall in what seems like slow motion all over the floor. So like the entire floor is covered in like this mop water, and if you've been mopping for a while, the mop water is not exactly clear, it's kind of brown. So there's like this brown mop water all over the classroom floor that we just mopped out and just cleaned out, and I'm just looking like, oh my gosh, what the heck just happened? There's no one in the classroom at the time. It's just me in there because I went to go grab the mop bucket. And like, I just have one mop. So I'm just like, they're gonna come in here eventually. They're gonna be wondering where this mop bucket is at. So they can finish mopping the hallway. So I'm walking outside in the hallway, and I'm like, hey, I made a mistake. I was so embarrassed. They were like, what happened? They come in there and they see like the entire floor is like just covered in water, and I'm just looking like, oh man, what just happened? And so like me, I'm one of the only OCS, guys right now that are snowbirds. Everybody else, they're like classmates from West Point, so they're already like, pretty close. So they just burst out laughing, and they're trying to like, I guess mitigate the situation and be like, hey, it happens all the time. But I'm looking like, no, it doesn't happen all the time. Like I just spilled the mop bucket. I understand you're trying to make me feel better, but like, this is embarrassing. And so, long story short, they ended up helping me, clean everything up. It wasn't like a big mistake that I made, but, just, as like a first impression, you really don't want to be known as the guy that spilled the mop bucket. This is only like my second actual day snowbirding because, before I was on leave. So, I'm still in like the first impression stage. So I was just like, man, I can't believe this happened. There's actually a picture. It's gonna be the cover frame for this video as well. I'm gonna drop it right here. It was me waiting outside the classroom, sitting in like all the desks and everything. We had to pull all the desks out the classroom in order to, sweep and mop everything out. So I'm sitting there, and you can see like the floor behind me, drying up. So, it was just crazy. Like I'm sitting outside and, waiting for the floor to dry up after, my big mistake. And I see like AIT students and like staff sergeants and stuff, walking by, and they're looking at me like, what is this second lieutenant doing out here? Like, kind of, I guess, waiting outside the classroom. Like, and I don't know. I really had no explanation for them. So I'm just looking like, hey, have a good day. And so, yeah, that's my embarrassing story. So if you're a second lieutenant or if you're an officer, go ahead and drop like your most embarrassing story in the comments below. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram at AlvinTheDirector. Other than that, I am out.